It was 1 week ago when the Ministry of Health announced the discovery of a cluster of COVID-19 cases among guests and staff at Sandals Resort. To date, health officials put the number of COVID-19 cases on island at 57 as of December 21st, of which 50 are being directly linked to the Sandals cluster and more than 800 people possibly exposed to the virus. The award recognizes the tourism provider who has gone above and beyond in training its staff to become COVID ready or to deliver excellent service. The timeliness of the award given recent development came into question during Monday night's Beyond the Headlines program. Host of the program, Mrs. Odette Campbell, put a question to former director of the Grenada Board of Tourism, Mr. William Joseph.
We're getting ready to close, but I must ask you this, Mr. Joseph. So we saw a photograph of an award being presented to Sandals for the platinum training. We have spoken a lot about public relations. If you were director of tourism and there was this maelstrom that had developed last week, would you have gone ahead, although it was scheduled prior to this developing, or would you have deferred on the presentation to Sandals?
Well, see, judgment. When you when you have the privilege to work for Grenada in these important institutions, and especially the folks at the top, they have to learn to think politically. In other words, the judgments must be sound.
The People's Tourism Choice Awards, which began in 2018, invites members of the public to nominate and recognize individuals or businesses making significant contributions to the tourism industry in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Sandals Grenada General Manager Peter Fraser said this award was particularly significant this year as it recognizes the tremendous efforts made by Sandals Resorts in helping Grenada recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, which has had devastating effect on the tourism sector and the economy. However, Mr. Joseph says the presentation of the award at this time shows poor judgment.
And I would imagine that some bells may have been rung regarding whether to proceed or not. There might well have been a reference to the minister, for example, as to whether to proceed with it. I don't imagine that at the administrative level they would simply have gone ahead as planned, because so much has changed. It is the very issue that is on the table. And it's a sort of contradiction as such, really. There's nothing, contrary not to have delivered it, the award at this time. You just hold it in abeyance. Otherwise we look, what are we looking at? People are complaining and are worried, and you are given an award in the same context. If Sanders was given an award for something else at this time, perhaps it might not be such an affront. But in the very area of national concern and bother and worry, you were given an award, I say it is poor judgment. I would not have done it.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.